tibia. Tibia is the medial larger bone of the leg. It is homologous with the radius of the upper limb. Now let us determine the side. Upper ring is most larger than the lower ring. Okay, upper ring is most larger than the lower ring. The medial side of the lower ring project downwards beyond the rest of the bone. This projection is called the medial malleolus. Okay, the anterior border of the shaft is most prominent in the crest like this sinuously curved and prominence below the anterior border of the medial malleolus. Okay, and now let us talk about anatomical position. The tibia is held vertically. Features: the tibia has upper ring or shaft in the lower ring. In upper ring, there are lateral condyle, medial condyle, intercondylar area, tibial tuberosity. Okay, so in shaft there are three borders and three surfaces. Okay, this is anterior border, this is medial border, this is lateral border. If there are three borders, then there must be three surfaces. Okay, so what are three surfaces? They are lateral surfaces, medial surfaces, and the posterior surfaces. Okay, lower end of the tibia is slightly expanded. It has five surfaces. Medially, it is prolonged downwards at the medial malleolus. Okay, the anterior larger surface of the lower end has upper smooth part, lower rough and groove part. Okay, so there are five surfaces. Okay, among them, anterior surfaces of the lower end has a upper smooth part and a lower rough and groove part. So medial surface is subcutaneous. It's continuous with the medial surface of the medial malleolus. Okay, lateral surface of the lower end present a triangular fibular notch to which lower end fibula articulates to form inferior tibiofibular joint, and the inferior surface and the posterior surface. Posterior surface is smaller than the anterior surfaces. Inferior surface of the lower end is articular. Okay, the medial malleolus is short but strong process which projects downwards from the medial surface of the lower end of tibia. It forms a subcutaneous prominence on the medial side of the ankle. Now let us talk about the attachment on the tibia. In attachment, so I'm talking from attachment on the medial condyle. Okay, and this is medial condyle. On the medial condyle, capsular ligament of the knee joint is attached to upper border, which also gives attachment to deeper fibers of the tibial collateral ligament. Semimembranous is inserted into groove on the posterior surfaces. The medial patellar retinaculum is attached to anterior surfaces. Okay, so on the medial condyles, capsular ligament of the knee joint, semimembranous, medial patellar retinaculum. These are the attachment. On the lateral condyle, there are iliotibial tract. It attaches capsular ligament of the superior tibiofibular joint. The groove on the posterior surface of the lateral condyle is occupied by the tendon of the popliteus with the bursa intervening. Okay, so lateral condyle, and there are iliotibial tract attachment, capsular ligament of the superior tibiofibular joint, and posterior surface of the lateral condyle is occupied by tendon of popliteus of bursa intervening. Okay, and attachment on intercondylar area. You can see over here attachment on the intercondylar area. The anterior horn of the medial menisci just in front of the medial articular surfaces. Okay, so just in front of the medial articular surfaces there is medial anterior horn of medial menisci. It's attached. Anterior cruciate ligament on a smooth area just behind the previous attachment. Okay, anterior horn of lateral menisci to the front of the intercondylar eminence, lateral to anterior cruciate ligament. Posterior horn of lateral meniscus to posterior slope of intercondylar eminence. Posterior horn of middle menisci to depression behind the base of the middle intercondylar tubercle. Posterior cruciate ligament to posterior most smooth area. From the figure, we can see over here. Okay, from the figure, we can see anterior horn of middle menisci, anterior cruciate ligament, anterior horn of lateral menisci, condylar impression, intercondylar eminence, posterior cruciate ligament, posterior horn of middle menisci, posterior horn of lateral menisci, meniscal impression. Okay, from the figure and from this structure, we can imagine this area. Okay, an attachment on the tibial tuberosity. Okay, on the tibial tuberosity, ligamentum patella is attached to upper smooth part of the tibial tuberosity. Attachment on the shaft tibialis anterior arises from the upper two third of the lateral surfaces. Okay, so this is lateral surfaces. Tibialis anterior arises from the upper two thirds of the lateral surfaces. Upper part of the medial surface receives the insertion of the upper part of the medial surfaces receive the insertion of the sartorius, gracilis, and the semitendinous from before backwards. Still further posteriorly, this surface gives attachment to tibial collateral ligament along the middle border. Okay, so this gives attachment to three muscles. They are also called as hamstring muscles: sartorius, gracilis, and semitendinous. Okay, still further, the posteriorly, this muscle gives attachment to tibial collateral ligament. The soleus arises from the soleal line. Okay, the popliteus is inserted on the posterior surface into triangular area above soleal line. Okay, now we have to see where is the soleus. Now in the figure you can see this is soleal line. Okay, so which means popliteus is inserted on the posterior surface into the triangular area above the soleal line. The medial area of the posterior surface below the soleal lines gives origin to flexor digitorum longus, while the lateral area gives to tibialis posterior. Okay, the anterior border of the tibia gives attachment to the fascia of the leg and its lower part to the superior extensor retinaculum. Okay, the rough part of the fibular notch gives attachment to interosseous fibular ligament. Okay, you can see over here. So this gives attachment to tibiofibular ligament, interosseous tibiofibular ligament. The capsular ligament of the ankle joint is attached to lower in along the margin of the articular surface. Deltoid ligament of the ankle joint is attached to lower border of the medial malleolus. Okay, with this we have completed the tibia and its muscle attachment. Blood supply: the nutrient artery to the tibia is the largest nutrient artery in the body. It's branched to posterior tibial artery, which enters the bone on its posterior surface at the upper inner vertical ridge. It is directed downwards. Okay, it has one primary and two secondary center. Okay, the primary center appears in the shaft during 7th week of intrauterine life. Secondary center for the upper ring appears just before birth and fuses with the shaft at 16 to 18 years. Okay, with this we have completed tibia and its muscle attachment. Okay, hope you have enjoyed the video. We will be coming further with next video on the fibula. Thank you.